Okay. And then you decide to bring in one of your college friends, AJ.
I didn't bring her in. Now, I had a girlfriend that I was cool with. And for me, I'm going to tell you what type of girl I was. Like I said, I never was nobody that sold drugs, but I always was affiliated to a big time guy that did sell drugs. So for me, I used to go to Chicago. I used to bring her with me, but I was trying to put her on one of his friends. Like, okay, cool. When we come up here, you come up here, you can kick it with one of his boys. We chill for the weekend. Boom. You go back, you know. But one time she did come to JT. I think her mom and her dad was getting a divorce and her mom was encountering some financial difficulties. And she had cut into him like, hey, do you think, I can take a couple trips, to make me some money? She was like, I think I'm a good candidate because I'm in college. I'll have my book bag. I don't have no record. She's like, I think it'll be smooth. Right then and there, I was like, I was like, I don't think that's no good idea. And I told her, when you ride like this, you ride with your life. Like if you get in that car and you driving them drugs, you riding with your life. It's like you're playing Russian roulette, and she insisted on. And I told him, whatever y'all do, that's on y'all. That don't got nothing to do with me. I don't agree with it, but he the head man in charge. So if you choose to deal with her, that's on you. And as a friend, I felt so uncomfortable with her doing that. I used to follow her there with the money, follow her back with the drugs, follow her there with the money, follow her back with the drugs, because that's something that didn't really sit well with me. That I took the extra initiative to drive there and drive back and follow her because it just didn't feel right.
Okay. Well, at one point, as she's driving with 30 kilos of cocaine in her trunk, she gets pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the video of what happened. And, the police said, hey, can we search your car? And she's like, sure, go ahead.
Was that the dumbest thing somebody could have did? I'm just saying, honestly, with you.
It was insanity. Like when I saw it, it was like, no, you cannot search the car.
I would have fought for my life.
Whatever you do not search this car.
Mm-hmm.
But when she gave him, so they basically searched the car without a search warrant because she gave him permission.
Mm-hmm.
So then she gets busted with 30 kilos of cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to cooperate.
Yes, but let me tell you, let's rewind back to that day that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, like I said, I follow her there, I follow her back, okay? This particular morning, we stayed at the same hotel. And I'm asleep, right? She calls me. She had already left and got on the road without even telling me, trying to rush back home because she had a class or something that she was trying to get to. So when she called me, she was already on the road. So I'm like, damn, you left? She was like, yeah, I left, but I'm good. I'll keep you posted, yada, 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 yada. Okay, cool. But all that day, I just had a weird feeling. I don't know. I can't describe the feeling, but you know how they say your gut don't ever lie? I just had a weird feeling about that. Even after she started cooperating, agreed, to keep going, to basically like set us up. The whole while we're driving back to Detroit from Chicago, I kept telling him like, let's not meet her. Let's meet her tomorrow. Because it was getting kind of late because we had got a late start on getting on the road. And he like, no, let's just go ahead and get it out the way. That way we don't have to do nothing tomorrow. We can chill. We could relax. Yada, 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 But I kept saying, I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want to meet her. Let's just put it that way. And I really regret not following my gut because that ended up being really very, very detrimental to me in my life. I don't know if I didn't go meet her, if things would have went different. You know what I'm saying? I can't dwell on the shoulda, woulda, coulda, but that day, I just didn't feel right about meeting up with her.
Well, when you met up with her and you picked up the 30 kilos, did the cops swoop in at that point?
What's so crazy is, this is how I know I should have just followed the signs. I called her, I was like, okay, I'm here. She's like, okay, the gate code is this because you had to get in the gate. So I pushed the gate code, boop, 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 boop. The gate didn't open. So she's like, call this phone. Come to find out, I didn't call that phone, but she was trying to have me call the police phone that was with her. But I ended up pushing the code to the gate again, and it ended up letting me in. So when they let me in, she had hopped in the back seat of my car with me. And when she got in the back seat, we smoking. So we smoking a blunt or whatever in the car. And I turned around and I looked at her. I was like, yo, we not going to do this no more. Like, after the day, you're not going to drive no more. And she was like, okay, that's cool. It's cool. I was like, it's just not, what it's going to be. And she got out the car. She was like, okay, I love you. I was like, all right, I love you too. She get out the car. She walk in the house. I had a Range Rover at the time. I hop on my truck. I get in the car that she was driving with the drugs in it. Soon as I got in the car, I couldn't even start the car up. Soon as I got in the car, I don't know. It's just like, I don't even know where these people came from. It was so many cops that like swarmed down the car. They yanked me out the car, threw me on the ground. It was just terrible, but they did the same thing to JT, and we was on the ground on our stomachs with our handcuffs. I looked at him like with the side eye, like, motherfucker, I told you. Like, I had to give him the look like, I told you. Like, I just felt something wasn't right in my spirit with that whole situation. But I still didn't know or put two and two together. I put two and two together when we got in the back of the police cars and she got in the back of a Tahoe. And I'm like, like, you getting in the back of a Tahoe. So when we went to the state police station, that's where I guess they had their little center at or whatever. I seen her because she was sitting on a bench handcuffed and they had put me in a cell. So when I came out the cell, I had to walk past her and she couldn't even look at me. She had her head down like that. That's when I knew, like, I knew it was her.
Right. She cooperates. And I guess at the bond hearing, you find out that JT's actually married and his wife shows up at the bond hearing.
My mom and my sister told me and my lawyer told me that they was like, yo, he married. I'm like, I didn't know he married. I knew he had a baby mom or whatever. And they like, no, like his wife, she at court. Like we seen her at court. And I was like, really? They was like, yeah, she here. So I was like, damn, it was just like a double whammy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And AJ, she's cooperating with the police. And she's saying all the money's yours.
Yeah.
She's not even mentioning JT.
Yeah. She said everything is mine. And that's what was kind of confusing because, okay, I could say my part. But like, I think that JT was already on the radar. So when they was questioning her, it's like they wanted her to tell them like him because they can get him right then. They end up letting him go and keeping me because she said everything was mine. And then they didn't catch him until like months later.
Right. You guys both bond out, and I guess JT wants to keep selling drugs, but you're not feeling it anymore.
Mm-mm. I was on bond, so I wasn't feeling nothing no more. Even though he was in communication with me as far as like, like, oh, I'm gonna give you X amount of money. And it was all bullshit. You know how somebody try to coerce you or, I guess he was trying to coerce me with money thinking like that so I'll stay true to him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's nothing I could do. I got caught. So it ain't even nothing about staying true. I'm guilty. So I'm in trouble either way it go. You know what I'm saying? So after that whole experience with the wife and stuff, I kind of stopped having contact with him like that.